What it is, what it do, man. Welcome to episode 59 of T3MU TV. It's your host, Niro. You know, when you see my face, I got a special guest. I got a very special guest in the building. I got Coach Jones, man.
Yep.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yep.
How's it going, man?
Man, it's going tremendous, man. I can't complain about nothing in my life. I appreciate you, man. I like what you're doing out here.
Appreciate it. And this is the Bunker Hill Community College coach. You know what I'm saying? When, you know, you don't get to a 4-year right away, you know, this is the guy you come see, you know, and he gets you right. And when I did my research, man, you very successful, man. And so I can't wait for us to, you know, chop it up, which we about to do now. So
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But everything's good with you?
Man, everything's wonderful. I'm having a good time in life right now. Our season just ended, but you know, it was a wonderful ride, and you know, life is good, man. When the day you up and wake up, you blessed, baby.
How far did y'all go this year?
We made it to the Final Four, and lost in around the semifinals.
Okay. And that's at the state champions?
That's in the Region 21, which is basically the New England region of junior college Division III country.
Okay. Who'd y'all lose to, man?
We lost to Quincy College. Snuck us nice.
Yeah. Close one?
Yeah, no.
They got y'all?
Man,
got y'all good?
We hit the spot with the Bakers, just turnovers, cherry, chocolate, you know, jelly turnovers. We just turned the joint over, man, like 30 times, man. You can't never win like that. But my boys is my boys, man.
Absolutely.
You know, we did our thing. You know, we was basically 11-1 in the region the second semester. So we basically wiped it clean. We went and ended up ranked 19 in the country. So you know, we did our thing. Definitely. We'll be back for real.
Absolutely. Okay, so let's get into it, man. Let's start from the beginning. You know what I mean? So, was you born and raised in Boston?
Yeah, man. Born and raised, originally from Lenox Street.
Okay.
Over there, Lenox Street, and my peoples was in Camden. You know, that's my original come up till I moved to Cambridge at the age of about 10 or 11. But, you know, I was still going back and forth. All my friends was here, man. But shout out to, you know, 123 Lenox Street. That's the first place I remember having the address ingrained, you know.
Back when you had to remember your address and number, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't plugged in the phone.
You had to know that.
Facts.
Know that. Yeah.
For real. Okay, so how was the move to Cambridge? Well, you did say you know what I'm saying, you had to come back and forth, but did you rock with Cambridge?
Yeah, man, I'm a Cambridge guy.
Okay.
You know? That's it, man. I'm a Cambridge guy, man. I'm from Ridge Towers over in North Cambridge.
Okay.
You know, and it was just a great environment for me to grow up in. It was very tough, you know. It got all the usual things you see in the projects or whatever, apartment buildings, but you know, I made the best of it. I had a great time. I made some great friends, and you know, I'm a real Ridge Tower man. You know what I'm saying? So
absolutely,
you know, it was a place where a lot of Boston families moved to. So it wasn't traditionally a Cambridge spot. It was basically some Boston guys that moved to the Ridge Towers, and then, you know, we integrated, man. But it was a good move for me. It was beautiful.
Okay. So what was it like growing up at that time? What was your era growing up like?
Man, dog, I'm an 80s baby.
Okay.
Man. So, you know, I'm out here right now.
Yeah.
You know, and it was a rough time, man. Because, you know, I was around when as I'm coming up through the ranks, you know, it went from, you know, just one type of drug to that hard drug came through, man. And that's on the negative side of things. I lost a lot of friends that way, but, you know, on the positive side, you had to learn to be stand on your 1 and 2s, you know.
Absolutely.
And that's something that you know, it helped mold me and shape me, you know, being the oldest and so forth in my family.
Okay.
And first we got to get the pause button, because I got to definitely shout out Anna Jones out there. That's my mom.
Okay. Yes.
Hugging and loving her.
We gonna throw some claps for that, man.
Man, gotta say
shout out to moms, man.
You know, and then, you know, I can't leave out my brothers, Quam, Josh, LaFell, my sisters, Malika.
So you got a lot of siblings.
Man, I'm out here, you know, and I'm very proud of everybody.
So you the baby?
I'm the oldest, man.
Oh, you the oldest.
I'm
You
the
definitely
dominator, baby.
Yes.
The oldest, the boldest, and the coldest. I'm the guy.
So you set the foundation.
I set the tone, baby.
Yeah.
You know, and I'll be remiss if I don't mention the real loves of my life. My wife Francine and my sons.
Absolutely.
Janard and Zamar. Remember, that's the heart. That's what made me a man, you know?
Yes.
So all those lessons I learned back being tough and being able to be brave and answer the bell, it helped me be a man.
Absolutely. Okay. So did you play basketball? So what high school did you attend?
I attended Cambridge Ranger Latin High School.
Okay.
Man. Yeah, and I was in the basketball program, and like many young people around, I was very successful in my time there. But I was under the tutelage of a guy named Mike Jarvis, who was an excellent coach, man, and a mentor of mine since I got to Cambridge. And he went on to coach Division I, St. John's, Florida Atlantic.
Wow.
I think he had an offer from the Celtics. Like Mike Jarvis was a great coach for me.
Yeah.
And what ended up happening is that, like a lot of people, man, I hurt that knee, and that was it I hurt my knee. That was it for me.
Yeah.
And I hurt coming up to senior year. So
in high school?
Yeah.
Wow.
And so I never even got a chance to get on the varsity like that. So, but people know what's up. In terms of the game, it ain't that. It's an injury.
You was on your way.
Yeah, I'm out here. And the thing about it is that that I came around in the time when Pat Ewing from the New York Knicks had just cleaned it all up, man. So we're all coming up behind him. I played with a guy, Ramil Robinson, John Evans, Bob Francis, Mark Brathwaite. These are some Cambridge basketball legends that went on, all had D1 opportunities.
Yes.
So I knew I had it with me as well,
Absolutely, hanging with them.
Yeah, man, I know I got it.
It's facts.
It's not a question, you know what I mean? And, so it's just it's a blessing to be able to look back at it that way without any bitterness,
Facts.
You take what comes your way, baby, and rock.
Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? It happens if it happens. If it don't, we gonna move on and pivot and be better. So no college.
Nah, after that, my coach made the call, made me go to a local Division III, UMass Dartmouth for a minute, but I didn't like it, man.
Yeah.
There were, just wasn't what I liked. And so I ended up coming back home on a hot night. I told my man to come pick me up. I said, yo, cuz I'm not staying.
Yeah.
He said, come swoop me. Now, my mom had already gave me the edict, like, don't you bring yourself back here, boy. Handle your business.
Facts.
Well, I got shook Willie Brown and it's time to go home, man. My man came and got me on a Sunday. I showed up at the door and I said, that's fine, but on Monday you're going to either Roxbury or Bunker Hill. And, I knew going to Roxbury, it wasn't going to work for me, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just started being just not in the lane that I wanted to be in. And I went to Bunker with a friend of mine from Cambridge, and I lit that circuit up, man.
Okay.
I lit that circuit up.
And Bunker at the time was still a 2-year?
Bunker was it's always been a 2-year.
Okay.
And I lit the joint up, man.
You played?
Yeah, I played well, man.
Yeah.
I played a year and a halh there, scored 1,000 points.
Wow.
Shout out to Mike Downey out there, one of my teammates, who I love dearly, man. It's just, it was a beautiful time because I got to be the scorer.
Yeah.
And at this time, there wasn't no 3-pointers, man.
Oh, wow. They didn't have a line.
Man. Man, listen, I was Bob Cousy in it out that piece.
I respect it, though. I got love for my old school players, man.
No 3-point line, man.
So you was letting it go regardless.
I was letting that Jimmy fly, baby. It's going. It's coming off this hand, flying.
Listen, you letting it go. Similar to me. That's how I play, man.
I was known to not really want to pass the ball. So,
you love to score.
I was born and bred like that, man. I came from the Cooper Center.
Yes.
In the South End. And if you get the ball down there, you better take it to the cup.
Okay.
Roxbury Wise style. So I had that kind of game that was different from the Cambridge guys who play more cerebral. But then once I got the mix, I was greedy and I could think the game. And I brought that to Bunker Hill and it helped me, have some great success there.
Yeah.
I left there with 3 Division II offers. U Lowell, Franklin Pierce, Southern New Hampshire, which at the time I think was New Hampshire College or something like that. But then one D1 offer up in Maine at Orono, but that was a no way after I took the visit up there. That was too far. And, you know.
You wanted to stay close to home.
I wanted to stay close to home, but, you know, as we'll get through later, that's how I got into coaching. I was still jamming my grades up, fam.
Yeah.
You know, so I couldn't get through the clearinghouse to accept the Division II scholarships.
Yeah.
So they told me I had to go back D3, and I said, nah, I'm straight. I just left it alone, you know?
Yeah. You just never wanted to play D3?
No, I didn't really want to play D3, man. I didn't. I mean, there's nothing against it.
Yeah.
But at the time, you know, as a young person with a high level ego,
yeah,
all my boys are playing at Michigan, University of Rhode Island, Boston College. The three people I just mentioned, I'm rattling off names, but I got other friends playing high level ball. And I just was a little bit in my own mind, I guess, bougie, you know?
Yeah. Now you wanted, I feel like you can't say you bougie because you wanted what you want. You didn't settle.
Yeah,
you ain't settle.
Man.
You can't be mad at that. You ain't settle. You know, like I have a problem. Sometimes I settle for shit that I shouldn't. But I respect it that you didn't settle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, looking back, a few of my other friends, they did the same thing, man. It was like, man, we'd rather just get out here and start working, man. Get a job, man. You know, get us a car, get us a little apartment, move our mom to his crib and get to it.
Yeah.
You know, and I chose those moves, and I'm satisfied with it. You know,
facts, because you did your thing.
Yeah, I'm proud of myself.
Yeah, you did your thing, and the opportunity was there. Just, you know, sometimes the grades could hold us back. You know that.
Yeah.
They use that as an obstacle, even though we should, you know what I'm saying, take that serious, of course. But we young, you know what I'm saying. You don't have 100 lives. You have one life, so you gotta, whatever you do is what you do. You know what I mean? So
that's right.
I respect it, man. I respect it. So, okay. So what did you study in college? What was your major?
I went back to school later on in life, and I studied finance. I graduated from Salem State University with a finance degree, a bachelor's degree in finance, and a minor in economics.
Okay. Yeah. So before when you was going, what was you studying?
I was still studying accounting at that time. I'm into the bread. I want the breach to come my way.
I took accounting one time, bro, and I wish I was more into it, but goddamn, it's so many numbers, bro.
You missed one or two classes, you might as well drop that joint.
For real.
You have to.
For real, bro.
You out, baby.
Even if you just missed one, bro, you off out, the scale.
They're moving so fast in there, man.
Yeah.
If you're not inclined with numbers ring in my head. If you don't incline with the numbers, it's like, man, where we at, man? And they can't nobody help you because they trying to pay attention.
Absolutely.
So I love that. That's numbers is my challenge.
So you was a math wizard.
I'm good at math.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Count that paper like you said.
I know how to make it happen.
Yeah.
That's
okay. Favorite athlete growing up?
Oh, favorite athlete growing up is probably still my favorite athlete now. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Okay. So you really love bigs for real?
Man, Kareem is the best basketball player to ever play the game. Man. That's my opinion, and everybody has them, but all I'm going to tell you is that they changed the rules in college. As he left high school to go to college, they said no dunking until Kareem left college, then they lifted the ban.
Damn.
So that tells you all you need to know, man.
About Kareem.
That's all you need to know, man. They changed. They said they didn't do that for Wilt. They didn't do that for anyone else. Because Kareem would have scored 75 points a night.
Yeah. Easy.
Yeah.
Easy. So did you watch Winning Time? Get a little off topic. Did you like it?
Yeah. I thought it was straight.
Yeah. They didn't. The old school players didn't love it. The guys that it was being told about, but I thought it was really good.
It was straight. It was straight.
They might have overhyped Jerry West. Maybe he could be mad about that. But
they gave him a little extra taste on it. But I mean, that was the magic show, man.
It was. Baby. And Kareem.
So they said no dunking, right?
Yeah.
And so he developed the sky hook.
And
so see how that is. You try to act like that's all he would have, but so dunking is stopped. So he said, I'll develop this sky hook left, right hand from 15, 16, almost 20 feet out. You have to understand, nobody has ever been able to do it since. And that makes him a savant, a genius.
Nah, it does. It does.
Genius.
It does.
It's my favorite.
And I hope we never forget about the skyhook and what it means and
Yeah.
what Kareem meant to the game as well.
Yeah. He came to Bunker Hill a few years back, about
Really?
2019. And I got to meet him and take a picture with him, man. It was just a beautiful moment for me.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah, man.
That's what's up. How did that happen?
He came up there for a luncheon, man, and they were honoring him, and he was speaking at like the speaker series they have. And I got the backstage pass.
Yeah.
And we had the lunch with him. My son was there, who played for me at the time at Bunker, and we got to meet him, take pictures with him.
Yeah.
And you know, just a beautiful situation. And then I let him know that, have you ever seen the movie Malcolm X, Kareem? He said yes. I said, well, you're standing in a place where Malcolm X, this is the prison that he turned from Malcolm Little to Malcolm X. Bunker Hill is the reformed Charlestown State Prison.
Wow. The building.
The building.
That's crazy.
That's why I'm proud to be the coach.
Yeah.
People don't know those things, and I let it be known because that's something that they don't put out there.
Nah, facts.
But that's where he became who he became to the world.
That's when he made that change.
There's somebody in there that turned him on.
Facts.
To the righteousness.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
So there's good spirit.
Beautiful spirit. You got to know it though for you to tap.
Facts. Facts. Facts.
You know?
Facts. I didn't know that, man. You learn something new every day. You know what I'm saying? But you dabbled in it a little bit. But what made you become a coach, or what started your coaching journey?
You know, if I have to say, back growing up in the Ridge Towers, I had a lot of it. For some reason, I had a lot of boys, not many girls in the projects, right?
Yeah.
So I mentored so many young people in there on, you know, sometimes you gotta knuckle up, whatever, but it was about where's your future gonna be at? Let's go train some basketball over here. Let's go play some baseball over here. And I learned some leadership skills and how to build relationships and talk to people and have meaningful relationships as a group, and then sometimes one-on-one with individuals. Yeah. Right? A lot of people have a different relationship with me than the next man, you know. But, you know, that led me into coaching. So my cousin Leroy, shout out to L, G, and shout out to T. That's my hearts right there. Yeah. You know, me and them and my brother Quan was inseparable, 4-man horses. But onto the coaching aspect of things, that leadership and being able to gather young people together and do something successful, that has all been a training for me over my whole life. And so when that coaching came about, I just got a fever for it, man. Yeah. I see. I can try to help people stay away from the potholes that I stepped in. You know, and that's important to me because my family growing up were into politics. You know, Mel King helped name me. Mel King's a Boston legend. My grandmother Carrie Turnbull was his office manager and friend for many years till she passed. And so I've been around excellence. And I've always been striving to do that with young people. Yep. You know, it comes natural to me. Yeah. So when the coaching hit, I just honed my skills with the basketball more. I spent my time, you know, watching film, watching tapes. And then I got to the point where I was instructing at camps. And once that hit, I could see basketball players' immediate improvement based off of us doing workouts and having upper level conversations about the thinking of the game. And then I knew I had the gift. At that point.
Okay, and so did you start coaching like high school or?
My first coaching stint was at Revere High School. Okay. In 1998, I think. I was my first year at Revere High coaching for the great Tony Ferrulo, who's over at Mystic Valley right now. Just won his 500th game. Shout out to him, man. Big time. And
was you like assistant?
I was assistant coach, yeah. And I saw it again. I made a couple guys into something, well, not me only, but I helped develop some guys to the point where they were now getting college looks, and nobody ever got college looks from Revere High basketball. No one, like very limited. and we got guys almost getting scholarships and Division IIIs on them. So I knew that, you know, I really wanted to do this right here.
Yeah.
I want to be the head coach at one point, but I want to learn first. And Tony taught me a lot, and then he actually introduced me into the Dave Hopler, the shot doctor guy that I don't know if you've ever heard of him, but tremendous shot basketball shooting teacher.
Oh, okay.
Used to work for the Wizards and goes around, but I got introduced to him, and then after that, I was into this thing called the Hoop Group. You ever heard of Hoop Group? Eastern Invitational Basketball, whatever.
Yeah.
Man, it's the #1 instructional place.
Yeah, Hoop Group. Yes, yes. They had the little camps and stuff like that. They rank you.
Clinics and camps, and they rank you, and well respected.
Yeah.
And once I got in with them, being an instructor and teaching and guiding upper level, high level basketball players, I knew that I wanted to be a coach, man.
Yeah.
So that was as an assistant. That's like 98, 99 probably, you know? And then that transitioned into going back in my alma mater, working 1 year at Cambridge, and then North Cambridge Catholic was the other place.
As an assistant?
As assistant.
Okay.
And then I still had an AAU program as well.
What was the team called?
The Greater Boston Lions. Everybody knows it as GBL.
Okay. I definitely heard of y'all.
Yeah, and then we came through.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? 10 toes on everything. And we, you know, had developed scholarship players, by the time 14 years has passed, we had like 12 teams a year, you know, nine boys and 3 girls teams. And it was that catapulted me into my assistant job at Salem State. And once I got that job, I could see that everybody knew I was the recruiter, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna come and get the players.
Yeah.
And once
you know the winners.
I'm coming
the
to
characters.
get them. I'm coming to get them.
The ones who got character.
Yeah, and I'm well connected.
Yeah.
So now, you know, transitioning to the college thing, I was the only AAU coach to transition right into Division III basketball in the country, dog. And nobody could believe it because now I'm at camps. Before I was the AAU guy.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, 1 year I come, I got the job. They like, why you got on that? I said, I'm at Salem State now.
Moving.
Oh, the shockwaves. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, Coom, how'd you pull that off? Well, you know, I got blessed up.
Yeah.
And from there, had some great success there. And then 4 years went by. Bunker Hill came, baby.
And they called.
Yeah, they came and got me.
Yeah. And that's when you...
Shout out to Chris Jones, my big fella. AD came and got me, man.
And that was your first head coaching? This is your first head coaching?
First and only.
Wow, man.
First and only. And that was in 2010. 2010.
Yep.
Yeah, man. So, whoo.
So in high school, did your high school team be an assistant? Did they win any state championships?
Nah, we didn't win any states. But the Revere team was the first team to make the tournament in I think 20 or 30 years when I coached there. The Cambridge, come on, man, that's C&B, baby.
I done played Cambridge.
I'm just a piece of the puzzle when it comes to that, baby.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean. I'm well regarded. And then, you know, North Cambridge Catholic, we did fine, but not really. You know, so Cambridge, I think we were ranked #1 in the state for a while, but we lost in the tournament, so we only care about chips over there.
Yep.
You know, yeah, that's the high school thing. It was all right. You know what I mean? I got my feet wet. I saw the lay of the land, but I wanted to go recruit.
Yeah.
You know.
And what about Salem?
Salem,
did y'all pull in any conference championships?
We won 2 regular season championships, and we made it, and we won 1 conference championship, but we made the tournament 2 of my 4 years that I was there.
Yeah.
And the first 2 years, first year we made it, lost in the first round to Gettysburg, but the second year we made it to the Sweet 16. And that was they haven't made it since.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that was a big experience for me, man. And it was, you know, I got to see what the NCAA tournaments was like when, you know, we got to be separated as teams. You know, like
Yeah.
one goes through this door, wait till the door closes. Boom, the NCAA guy hits the mic. Go. We go in the gym. We got our time. When it's time to go, they hit the whistle. Bzz, get out. We got to go through the door and wait. Bzz, they hit the whistle. Another team comes in. It was like, I really liked that. Man.
Yeah.
It was.
Love the environment.
Yeah, I liked the environment. It was upper level for me.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was fire, man. I had a good time with that, but I also cut my teeth real nice, and you know, I was the adjustment man.
Yeah.
So I wasn't the sub guy. I'm the guy that watches what they do and see what they are, and then I make the recommendations as to what we should do now. And that's
a big part.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
You could change the game with what adjustments you make.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I look back at some of the film, I can see the adjustment that I made that I referred to the coach, and he went ahead and made. Or you can see me in timeouts, hit the timeout, I go in first. That's the guy telling you what we got to do. And then the coach comes in and he gives the final word, you know?
Yep.
So, yeah.
Okay. So you 2010, you make your head coaching debut at Bunker Hill.
Yeah.
You know, how was the start of that?
Woo! Man, I think we was like 500. But I had a wagon, man.
Yeah.
I had a wagon, man. I went to New York and got Big Trevor Jackson, 6'9". And got to remember my cousin Leroy that I mentioned from the town. Lee's coaching with me. He actually started the GBL AAU team with me. So we're like, man, we ain't no Batman and Robins, man.
Yeah.
We 1-1.
1A, 1B.
Man, 1-1.
Okay, I like that.
We walk through the door, we come through the door. You can call us 11s, you can call us what you want.
Well, 1-1.
We're 1-1, baby. And so we definitely, you know, recruited the team strong. You know, Cesar Castro out of Chelsea. You know Cesar? Cesar Castro was Let It Fly.
Yeah.
The guy that runs Let It Fly, you know the tournament?
Okay, yes.
That's Cesar Castro. That's my little nephew basically right there.
Yeah.
Played AAU with me since he was 7. You know, that's my boy. So Cesar's on the team, Francis Reddick out of Cambridge, Big Trevor, Derek McIntyre out of Salem. We had a team from all areas.
Yeah.
And we was getting mollied. We was getting slammed, dog.
They just didn't know
we couldn't get it together, man. And then, you know, at that time, RCC was king of the hill.
Yeah.
And they'll give you a full 80 knots across your head, man. It don't matter, dog. The score is going to be the score.
Yeah.
And I'm glad, shout out to Kwame and Ty Boswell.
Absolutely, Mr.
You know,
Green.
Yeah, because what they showed me is how to get down. So now I'm getting these 40-piece headshots.
Yep.
I'm down 25 at half. That game's over. That game's over, man. You get down 25 to me, same way, that game's over. You forget about that comeback stuff.
Yeah.
So they did that to me, and they taught me how to, you know what I mean? They taught me how to get down.
Yeah.
And it took
they
me.
They gave you that Mike, what the Pistons did to Mike.
they
beat him up, and he came back.
The first foul is the only foul they're going to call.
Yeah.
But hit him 3 times.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
you feel me?
They taught me that.
He ain't flying over here.
Yeah. So, you know, got to respect it, man.
Facts.
You know, and you know, so they call it the Rock over there. Well, I got to get everybody to understand now it's the hill. You know what I mean? It's what we do. You know what I mean?
I like that.
It took me like 3-4 years. I figured the steez out. And then 2016 came, and I walked in the door. I was close in 2015. I was close.
Yeah.
But I had a couple people flunk off, and it messed me up. But in 2016, I came through with E.J. Rogers.
Ooh, EJ.
Oh, my boy.
Played basketball with him growing
They
up.
call him the bus driver.
Yeah, listen. Good
EJ.
point guard.
Freedom's Dennis out of Cambridge.
I know who that is.
6'8" monstrosity.
That's a double king right there.
My little cuz Dave Stewart out of Madison Park.
Ooh, yeah, we know D Stu.
Come on, man. Tron out of Charlestown. Old school Tron. Ducky.
Ooh, y'all had Ducky over there too?
Man.
With him and EJ?
We was filthy, man. We was out here. And it just, you know, man, that team right there, that's the rings. That's what you see right here, all the jury and stuff.
They brought that.
That's 2016 on my hand. Yeah, and this is, you know, so.
And that's the regional, right?
That's the team that went to the Nationals, my first Nationals trip. And, you know, Freedom's ended up getting a Division I scholarship.
Yep.
Dave had offer, and EJ had offer. To just, you know, we just had to get the transcript tight.
Fact.
But We went to nationals, man, and we played the #1 team in the country. And they was up Rock Valley from Illinois, some Chicago boys on the team, and they was good. Yeah. But in the end, man, we lost. But they seen the way we were coming at them so strong with the press and so forth, and playing with a lot of adrenaline, energy. Man, they started doing four corners. You know what four corners is? They started stalling the ball, man.
Yeah, I know.
With
that's how Jersey play, because they play with no shot clock, so they're holding.
Man, with like 13 minutes on the clock in the second half. What you doing, man? Let's play.
Holding the ball.
Holding the ball down to the 5 second, and then going from there. So it went back and forth, and we ended up losing by like 9. But it was a great experience for my team, man.
Yeah.
You know, and it was a great experience for me because I got to see the big time and in terms of that level, right?
Yeah.
And so now I got to come back with it. What you gonna do, Coon? I said, I'll be back. When I come back, I'm coming back heavy-handed. That's just all there is to it. You know? So for a stretch of 6 years, it was averaging 20 wins a year. And that's very big. Unheard, ranked, constantly ranked.
Yep.
We're a nationally known program now. We got scholarship guys. We got All-American. Friedis is All-American.
Yep.
Dave was going to be an All-American, but, you know, some unfortunate incidents happened. And, you know, the fact is, when 2019 got here,
yeah,
that's the chain, baby. You know, 2019 got here.
Oh, yeah.
I got my son, Naughty Jones. Shout out to you, baby.
Yes, sir.
Jamari Coakley out of North Cambridge / Milton. My man, Jalen George Belletti, Cambridge boy. We just came up in there strong, man. You know, and once we did, it just took a little bit of time, but we ranked 3 in the country, highest. Yeah. Day-Day, you know, Day-Day, McLaughlin, Day-Day, LaQ Howard, they were all on the team. Shaq Murray. Man, man, we was on fire.
A winner.
Yeah, we was on fire. Yeah. And we ended up 27-5, went to nationals, and we did well.
2019,
you get out there, the NBA, G League scouts are there, D1, D2 scouts are there. It was out in Minnesota. It was just, you know, it was just a great experience, man. Yeah. And when that happened, you know, I had to sit back and start totaling things up. How much further do we need to go to get to this championship level? Yeah. And that's where I'm at now. You know, I'm trying to find the players that really want to improve their character, improve your books, and get yourself skilled up and put yourself in a package that's the best step forward that you can do.
Absolutely.
For the people that you want to put yourself in front of.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So what would you say your coaching philosophy is?
Man, my coaching philosophy is probably, you know, be very tough on the court. Don't give nothing. Don't give nothing. Yeah. If they're giving you something, then that's fine. Yep. But don't you give an inch. You know, play tough, play hard, and play relentless. You know, and we play pressure all game long, baby. And that's why we got a team. I play my players. We got 15 on the team. The average is 12 to 13 players play every night for me, man. I'm not the kind of coach that wants to sink guys on the bench. Yeah. We should play so much defense that you should ask for a sub for just give me a break for a minute.
Yeah, he's fast.
You know, if you do that, brother, you can shoot from half court.
Nah, for real.
At Bunker Hill, you can shoot from half court. I don't care. Just if you miss, right, go get it back.
Go get it, yeah.
But if we miss and then you don't try to get it back, then you're gonna have to get yourself a seatbelt and sit down for a little while, right? Just keep you safe.
Facts. Put that seatbelt on. You wilding out right now.
We're gonna keep you safe, you know. But that is my philosophy is just come to work and be as professional as you can, but you gotta understand the JUCO world is a training ground. Yep. So no one comes as a finished product. Fact. And a lot of coaches act like, you know, these young people that we're coming to contact with are supposed to be finished products. This is a training ground, baby. Fact. So you're supposed to put up with certain things to try to teach the better way to do things. Absolutely. And that's my whole thing. That's where leadership comes in. So my philosophy is based around a family type of environment. Yeah. You know, like where our brothers keep our study halls. 5 days a week study hall, man. You got to study, baby. Yeah. You know, so
holding each other accountable.
When the coach from such and such university wants to talk to me about you, he wants to see your film first and he wants to see your transcript second. And the minute he clicks off that last, if it's a 5-minute film, when he gets to 4:59, he's gonna want the transcript.
Facts.
That's gonna determine whether he's gonna move forward with the next film you send him.
Exactly.
Okay, but if that transcript is good, bang. Okay, if it's not good, it's like, man, I can refer you to someone else, but I can't do nothing with it.
Yeah.
You know, and I like that angle of things because it's honest.
Facts.
You know, I like to deal in straight up terms instead of dancing, right?
Yeah, me too, man.
So-
Straight up. Give me the answer.
So the philosophy that we have is to, run the floor, attack, but really get back and play some defense so we can get that ball and try to get ourselves in transition.
Facts.
That's the way young people play. Young people don't go to the park and run, flex offense. They don't go and run a zone at a park.
Absolutely not.
At a rec center. And where do most of your player acumen come from? Your acumen comes from getting out and playing every day.
Yeah.
And no one's running no zones. You gotta learn how to handle that rock. You gotta learn how to shoot that rock, pass that rock, and also strap up.
Facts.
So like, I think I run an exciting brand of basketball, and I'm a player's coach. I know y'all hear all the swearing and the running around sometimes, man.
Yeah.
But go ask the players what it is. We're usually just expressing ourselves in that way.
Yeah.
Some people express themselves the way that I express myself. I'm a competitor, and that's the way I compete.
Yeah.
And I try to compete at a professional level, and making sure that my young people do the same thing, man. It's just, but you got to meet people where they're at.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's my philosophy, man.
Okay. What excites you most about coaching at the JUCO level?
I love the opportunity to try to impress upon somebody the way to go about it, to be successful for what they want to do. Because I've touched all levels at Bunker Hill in terms of placement.
Yeah.
There's been guys that left me and went straight and played FIBA ball overseas. Straight after, left, never played no other level. I've got guys that have gone to the Division I level, guys that have gone Division II and III and NAIA D1, right? So all of those would be an option for someone. What you want to do? I want to go D2. Well, this is the route you're going to have to take academically and athletically, right? They're bigger and stronger usually in D2 because they're not as athletic.
Yeah, right.
You feel me? In most cases.
Yeah.
But D1, you're going to have to have both of those things or at least the athletic part.
Yeah, facts.
That's just the way they recruit.
Yeah.
D3, just be a good ball player.
Yep.
You know what I mean? If you have the other attributes, then it adds on, And so I just love developing players, man. And that's on and off the court. I like taking the guy that just didn't have that focus in high school for whatever reason. Maybe it's coach, maybe it's family based, maybe it's just him.
Yeah.
And I like to tap into what it was. Where did you stumble? And help them do a self-recognize type of thing.
Yeah.
Recognize it yourself, self-realization. And then let's go from there.
Fact.
There's mad angles.
Yeah.
And that's where, as a mentor, I take my time to understand those, ain't try to figure out angles. I ask questions of people
Facts.
that are in those lanes.
You don't know. Facts.
Yeah, So that's like my thing. I love to develop players, man. I've developed NBA guys, like I said, FIBA guys, overseas guys. I mean, that level of development really, really, really excites me and pushes me.
Yeah.
To see Curry do some footwork that I ain't never seen in my life. But if I watch it close enough, I'll be able to show someone how to simulate it their way.
Yes.
If you think you want to do that move that Shea Gilgeous is doing, you have to do this.
Yeah.
And teach them how to break down the move piece by piece by piece by piece.
So that they get it.
So you get it. Because you got to get, if it's a 5-piece move, and you only got 1 and 2 piece down, it's not going to be the same move.
Facts.
It's a 5-piece move, baby. You got to do these 5 things.
To get it right. Okay. So what has been the most challenging thing about coaching at Bunker Hill?
The most challenging, I think the fact that I've probably had it's my 15th year. I think I've had 8 ADs, man.
Damn.
Yeah, 8 ADs. And so the continuity's been kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But
You got to get on the same page.
Yeah, and it takes some time.
For real.
So, that's been probably one of the biggest, just obstacles. It's just like you get used to working with somebody, and then boom, somebody else coming.
Yeah.
And it's like they got to get used to you. You got used to them. And by that time, a year done went by. And that's been the thing. I'm hoping my guy Tony Price right now, the AD, stays for a little piece, and hopefully he can deal with me for a little bit longer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I hope so, man, because it's just I'm having a great relationship building experience with him. Yeah. And so I hope it lasts, man. But that's probably been the biggest thing. Other than that, man, we got the best facilities. We have the best, we have a good weight room. We have a training room. I've
been there, so I could vouch for that.
Yeah, man. We have the best gym in all of JUCO in New England. That's a fact. So yeah, it'd probably just be that, man. Yeah. And I could always use some more breeze.
Yeah, of course. We definitely need some more of that. You know what I'm saying?
$2 in the pocket.
That'll really make, some players pull up. Yeah. But what's the best thing about, coaching at Bunker Hill?
The best thing is that I'm getting I've gotten to fulfill most of my personal goals at Bunker Hill. Yeah. I got to coach both my sons, man. Any man that or a woman for that matter, any coach get a chance to coach their children in a true, honest, competitive way. Yeah. In this sport right here, I'm not a favoritism guy, brother. My sons will tell you that.
They had to earn it.
And I'm not overly hard on them either. They're just on the team like everybody else.
Exactly.
But I got the opportunity to coach Jannard in the 2017 and 2019 season. We went to the Nationals, and he was an all-region player, and then I got to coach my young boy Zamar, aka Junie. Yes. I got to coach him in 2021, I think right after COVID, right? So he only played 1 year, but man, my plan was to quit after I coached my sons. I was like, man, I'm gonna let somebody else come in here and put their hands on the wheel, Yeah. And then I got convinced to stay, and I got a renewed love for it. So, that was just probably my greatest joy. But on a personal accolade perspective, I got 200 wins. I'm the winningest coach there by far. I've had 3 Coach of the Years. I've had,
you naming off the list. I got it here for you. You know what I'm saying? You won 2 NJCA Region 21 championships, 4 Massachusetts State championships. Yeah. You like you said, you was named Region 21 Coach of the Year 3 times. Has developed 2 NJCAA All-Americans and 23 NJCAA All-Region 21 players. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We got to clap it up for that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know what I mean? And you know what I'm saying? 200 wins, which is big, man. I watched that video. Wow. And you know what I'm saying? I was like, wow, that's what's up, man. You got to keep going.
Mom Dukes was in the video.
Yeah, you made sure. You said, listen, where Mom's at? I got to get a picture with Mom's. You know what
Mom's at, baby. Shout out to everybody that still got their moms, man.
For real.
If you don't have your moms, you got my love and sympathy, man. One day I'll join your club, but I don't want it to be too early, man.
For real.
You know what I mean?
For real.
That just being at Bunker Hill and being an alumni, someone that's done most of what I'm trying to get other people to do. The missing piece that I had was what? It was the books. Yeah. Right? Working 3 jobs and playing ball. See, that's I'm not revealing it all out. Yeah. I was working 3 jobs, 1 full-time job and 2 part-time jobs, going to school and playing ball.
Yeah, so the books was kind of
the books you fell to the wayside, man.
Yeah,
and I didn't feel by much, but that's the thing why I love being the coach, is because I can speak from experience, man.
Facts.
And I'm trying to explain to young brothers, listen, I already done jammed it up. Now you can do what I did, and you end up having to travel the rules I travel, maybe, which is not bad. Just gonna make it a little harder on yourself, man.
You're gonna have some bumps and bruises.
You're gonna realize, but you got to be determined. See, I'm a determined person.
Yeah.
So it didn't it's just my lane.
Yeah.
It's my travels. It's my experience in life. But if you're not tough and determined, you may not accomplish what you want.
Yeah.
So, me being there as the alumni and scored 1,000 and some of the accolades that you mentioned,
Yep.
I'm truly blessed and highly favored. I understand that. And, it all belongs to my competitive spirit.
Absolutely.
And I'm coaching in a family environment. As I told you, Leroy Gibson, Sienna Gibson, played at Cathedral.
What year she played?
She probably 20, 21, 22, whatever. But CC, shout out to CC, a.k.a. Yana G.
Yeah.
She got a little album out there. You gotta check that. Yana G. But that's Lee's daughter. And he coached me up to a point where he had to go watch her. And then I filled it in with my other best friend, Mark Brathwaite.
Yep.
And Isaiah Bradshaw. So I keep a family environment around me. These are gentlemen I can trust to the bone.
Facts.
You follow me? Like we're outside of basketball.
Y'all locked in forever.
Man, it is what it is. Me and MB we've been friends since we was 10 years old.
Yeah, man, that's locked in forever.
So that's a wrap, right? So, just having that environment makes me just feel relaxed and comfortable to be me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Some people don't know what it's like for a guy. I'm a hood guy. What you want me to say? Man, I'm with brains, but at times it is what it is, right?
Yeah.
And you gotta have people that understand that without judging you in a way that is detrimental to your lifestyle.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So I'm very blessed with that. I got people that understand me and that promote me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah.
I mean, you did say you when you coached your sons, you was thinking about hanging up, but what makes you not want to hang it up with these 200 wins though? Because you got a pretty good resume, man, to really sit back and say, listen, whoever's next up, chase the ghost.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's the juice of a young person looking me in the eye and being like, I heard you're nice with it. You can help me. I feel like I'm an old boxing trainer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I can show you a couple things with this, man.
Yeah.
And I just love the fact that God has kept me strong enough to still move with these young people physically, mentally, and I got my own older groove lane, but I understand the young man's lane. It's daytime, right?
Yeah.
It's
facts.
daytime. It's daytime, but they don't gotta adjust so much to me. I gotta adjust to them.
True.
And I got young sons, usually the age of them, so I'm already in the cuddy with y'all. I know how y'all get down.
Yeah.
I understand it.
You already know what's going on.
I understand.
Can't play no games with you.
Hey man, I understand what's popping.
Yeah, you know what's going down.
And I respect the fact that you got to get like that. But it's just being a person that is available to young people to teach lessons, man.
Yeah.
By nature, I'm a leader of young men. You know what I'm saying? And I love it. It don't really matter your color and complexions and all that stuff. I'm not into that too much, but I am gonna look out for my brothers and people of color, just to make sure that there's an opportunity for them in a fair, square, straight up, without me judging where you come from and everything. So I just love the challenge of helping someone reach their goals, man. I've had over 50 so far. I think 55 or 57. Guys that got their associate's degrees. That's incredible.
That's
man.
wonderful, man.
In case you don't want to go to school no more, get this paper right here while you're playing ball. Don't let the ball use you, man.
Facts.
You use it, man. It's a tool. I'm actually a tool as well. I just don't want you to, use me in a bad way, but I'm here to help you get where you need to go. And if I don't know nobody where you want to go, I'm going to call somebody that does know somebody.
Facts.
And then I'm teaching them the economics of the world, and how to move in this world and get what you need. A lot of people don't get that schooling in high school or in their neighborhoods, you know what I mean? Or from an older man's, you know what I mean? Dad, uncle, brother, you know what I mean? So I'm in a position where I can do that.
Yeah.
So I think that's my calling, baby.
Yeah.
You know, it's my calling. So I'm gonna give it up at some point, you know, but it ain't right now.
You adding to the stat sheet. You know what I'm
It
saying?
ain't
We
right
adding.
now,
It
baby.
ain't right now. We gonna
Just
keep
gotta-
adding to them
God
wins, man.
bless. You gotta keep on.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, how did so you also talked about RCC and how they helped you kind of, you know, understand what you got to really do in the space of JUCO, and you know how you got to take that top spot. You really got to knock dudes out. You know what I mean? Smack them up. But how would you? Well, you kind of walked into a rivalry, you would say, right?
Yeah.
Because Bunker Hill and RCC have been rivals since. Who knows, man?
It was one sided though.
Yeah. Oh, it was RCC.
It was RCC. God.
Yeah.
You know.
But when you stepped in, you kind of
man.
You kind of started to tilt the.
I had to snatch the chain, man.
Absolutely.
That's all you want me to say, man.
Nah, you had to, man. You had
snatch
to.
the chain, man. You know what I mean? You just gonna have to roll with this one, homie. You know what I mean? It was a difficult thing to do.
Yeah.
But like I say, man, just my resume of training players and knowing all the AAU players. I mean, this is 2005. I knew all of the players going to prep, city ball, little greater Boston area, little suburban, Metro West, Connecticut, New York, because I'm at camps.
Yeah.
I'm at camps. I'm seeing everybody, and I was usually the only brown face in the building.
Yeah.
So the kids was gravitating.
Facts.
And so I just got my rep, and by the time it kicked in, it took me, like I say, 4 years or so, and then I slowly started wrestling some of the power away from them guys over at RCC.
Yeah.
You know, and it was a monumental moment, man.
Yeah.
Because once I got my hand on that, you know what I mean, that power vacuum, man, I was cleaning everything up. Man.
Yeah.
And I got to have it.
Yeah, and now they like, listen, we can't even play with them no more, man. Like, we gotta take this serious.
Shout out to my man Corey McCarthy that told me one time I shut him down. I shut Roxbury down for a little bit.
Yeah. Shout out to the love, man. We actually had him on here as well too, man.
That's my man. So,
yeah,
you know,
definitely.
But it was a great challenge, man, because they was it.
Yeah.
You know, rough, rugged, and and basically they had my style.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And Bunker Hill had a different style before I got
before you got there.
Yeah, and then I had that greedy, grimy style had to come through. You know, with humbleness. You know, not with so much crazy cockiness, but with like a humble, aggressive feel to it. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, confidence.
Okay, let me see. Will Bunker Hill ever get a national JUCO title?
Oh, that's a question.
Is that a personal goal?
Man, that is the goal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And right now, any of y'all think you can come help us win the title, bring yourself on. You know what I mean? This is an open recruitment moment.
Yes.
You know, we are really striving for it, man. This year, we had the player of the year in the conference, a freshman, 6'4" out of Lynn, Giovanni Cordero.
Shouts out to him.
Man, Novus is the thing, man. Averaged 28 a game, 12.2 rebounds, 4 steals. Number 1 scorer in the country, number 2 in rebounds from the guard/forward spot.
And he's coming back.
But you know, we're trying to build a program that sustains, of course, and we have been sustaining. But now we got to go over the next level. We got to get to nationals, and we got to win the thing. Yeah, you know, and we got to, you know. So, are we gonna get it? We trying to get that thing next year. You know, I'm not gonna lay out who I'm recruiting out there for the spies that might want to, you know what I mean, check my style, but we bringing in some heat, some heavy hitters. Yeah, we bringing in some heat, and I look forward to next year. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. I got to look very much forward. We had 9 freshmen on the team this year. They all coming back. Come on, man. You know, so you know, we out here, and you know, they're coming back, but the recruits coming in, take your spot, fool. That's on you. Yeah. So let everybody take your spot.
Listen.
Let everybody take your spot.
That's the thing about JUCO, man. You never know who's gonna come in that building.
Don't let them take your spot, man.
Work for it.
You better hold yours down.
Absolutely.
You know that's the fair treatment you get at Bunker Hill.
Mm-hmm.
The best people, big dogs eat.
To big dogs eat.
That's just the way it is.
Because they're gonna carve out that space.
That's right.
Okay, so what? So you would say the best group at Bunker Hill was the 2016 group?
Hey, you messing me up.
What's the best group at Bunker? Is it the 2016, 2019?
Hey.
Yeah.
I mean.
In 2016 is EJ and Francis.
You gonna get through. Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
You about
okay.
to get me chased off the set.
Listen. Pick wisely, man. They gonna see it.
Man. Well, I'll say this, right?
Mm-hmm.
The 2019 team was the most pleasurable team and the most team. No fights.
Yeah.
No arguments. Held it down for each other. 100. And in terms of accolades,
Mm-hmm.
they're the most decorated team in Bunker Hill history.
The 2016.
2019.
2019.
They went to the Nationals, won a game at Nationals, had a first team All-American, Jamari Coakley, on the team. He scored 1,000 points in his 2 years. He scored 55 points to set the school record at the time for points in a single game.
Wow.
And had a triple-double that game, 55 points, I think 11 rebounds and 10 assists. Also on that team, we had 4 guys that were offered scholarships on that team. 3 Division II, and Jamari offered D1, chose a D2, right? So they're decorated. High is number 3 in the country.
Yeah.
Man, dog. Never lost a game at home. Okay. The team with Fonto and D Stu and Freedance, man, and EJ, Tron, Ducky,
Yeah.
Sean Miller,
word. The shooter.
man, Evan Bean out of Quincy, Zach Botterhole, man, they would have thugged us out.
Yeah.
2016 would have thugged us out.
Yeah. So you going with 2016?
They wasn't deeper than us though.
They didn't. Oh, okay. So
2019 had Day LaQ, Quincy Taylor, ended up leading the country with 16 rebounds a game.
Jeez.
Oh man, dog.
It's tough. Which one you gonna go with?
We're gonna go into overtime.
You want me to say that to the end? See if you hold on to it for a little bit.
I'm gonna hold on to that one. Let me get that one on the digestive.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay. Let me see.
Oh,
What I got for you here.
I didn't expect that one, man.
Okay, so I got one right here. Sorry.
It's all love.
Up. But if you was to get an offer from a big college program, would you take it? I'm talking, say a low D1 call, high D2.
And they're talking about me being the head coach?
Head coach.
Yeah, if I'm the head coach, I'm probably going, you know what I mean?
You're going to take it.
I'm going to start off that black on black Jeep out there and I'm gone. But, I would only want to be a head coach. I don't want to be anyone's assistant.
Yeah.
And it's no disrespect. Like, there's a few guys I would work for that, like my man Mike Fowley, he's assistant at Notre Dame right now. I got some friends in the business, man, that I would rock with my friends, but Andy Toole over at Robert Morris, I would deal with my friends, but I don't really want to be an assistant coach nowhere. Yeah. So, if I had the opportunity to be assistant coach at West Virginia University under Bob Huggins, I had a chance to go to Rider University, I had a chance to go to Robert Morris University, and I just chose to, stay and be around to raise my sons at the time. Right? You know what I mean? I'm talking 07 to 2009, right?
Yeah.
I had those offers. I just chose, I didn't want to live in any of those places. West Virginia, Moonship, Pennsylvania, Amish country. No disrespect. It's
Yep.
just that I didn't think I would fit in, and my kids got to go to school, right?
Facts.
So they can't fit. They ain't gonna fit in, man.
Yeah.
So what is this all about, man? This is
True.
about, you know. So I chose to stay in here where I'm from, right?
Yeah.
D1 job as a head coach, I would probably entertain it, you know, heavily,
Mm-hmm.
you know, because I'm at the point where I can recruit. They got this NIL money. As y'all talking that type of
Big stage
where I
too.
get to, you know, put on the hits in a professional manner.
Yeah.
Come out with the cashmere jackets. on,
Okay.
all
Yeah.
that,
Yeah. Every game.
and develop high level athletes.
Mm-hmm.
It would be a challenge I would have to explore.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
I would have to explore it, but you know, that would be, you know, if it came my way, I would definitely entertain it.
Who wouldn't, man?
Yeah, I have to
Like,
entertain that.
for real, who wouldn't? Who wouldn't entertain that? You know what I'm saying? So, I got one more for you before we get to some lighter questions.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of the most valuable lessons you've taught your athletes about life?
It's something. I'll tell you one thing that we write on the board and that we say every game. Really, the only things in life you can control are your attitude, your effort, and your energy.
Mm.
And that helps at least propel you forward.
Fact.
You know, it makes you take a step forward.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and even if you get knocked down, you get up and step forward.
Mm.
Because your attitude on high, that means that people can't guide you, guide your attitude by their attitudes.
Facts.
And then the energy, man, if your energy's on high, that means that you're going to rock. You're going to rock till you get the job done. You're going to just realize that I have to put in this time, energy to do it. And effort goes along with the energy. The effort, if you're really trying,
Yeah.
you know, that could be studying on something to learn to do it better, or applying yourself in a tough situation. Your effort is gotta be there. It's gotta be on high, man. And you know, and have determination in your heart. You have to have the determination. And probably the biggest thing is the confidence.
Absolutely.
You know, people like to deal with confident people.
True.
And you know, it makes them feel good that they're making the right choice.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And
For
then now
real.
you've built confidence with them.
Nah.
And now you
fact.
come through with a great attitude, effort, and energy and determination. They think you're a well-rounded individual at whatever profession or whatever lane it's in.
Absolutely.
You know, so that's a paramount thing in my program. How to build, you know, something that you can stand on with your 1 and 2s. And feel good about it, whatever it may be.
Yep.
You know?
Find a purpose.
Yeah, find it and run with it.
Absolutely.
Run towards it.
Absolutely. Okay, so what are your goals for your players?
My goals are varying because it's based on what they want out of it.
Yes.
You know, for young persons like, yo, Jones, I want to play 2 years here and I want to get to the workforce, man. I want to open me a business. I want to do something to get some bread out of it.
Yeah.
Then we'll operate accordingly. We'll try to make this the best 2 years that you have.
Absolutely.
If you're telling me I just want to play at the next level, that means that you will play any level that's above ours. So that's usually D3 to start, and then D2, D1, you know.
Whichever one's heavy on you.
Whatever one. If someone comes and said, I want to be a scholarship player, I said, okay. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, if you're not doing this, and that as a base, then you're not on that path. So let's put you on that path, you know. And what does that consist of doing? It's probably going to consist of 1,000 shots a day. I just want to let you know that.
Yeah.
It's going to probably consist of, you know, 500 to 800 push-ups a day, man. I'm just saying, it's going to consist of 2,000 squats, man.
Yeah.
Why? Because those are all power-based things that you need to play at the level. Some people are born with it.
Yeah.
Some people got to go get it. You know what I'm saying?
Or just exercise it.
You got to do it.
Yep.
You know, and those are just physical things, right?
Yeah.
And a little bit of gym work, but there's a program for each level.
Yeah, true.
And I just say, listen, well, I work, I don't do that. Well, then you have to understand that chances are you're not going to reach the level that you want to reach if that's the way you're going about it. You are going to put a gamble out there. You know, your odds are going down.
Facts.
Right? Of you making it, it's not going to happen. But if you say, well, then what can I get based on the input that I want to do? I say, you probably could get yourself, this or that, and we got to find somebody that wants you at that temperature. You know what I mean? Yep. If that's the temperature you're boiling at, we got to find somebody that wants it like that.
You facts.
And we'll go after it, but you can't be disappointed if you trying to reach a level that they need it. They need that water hotter than what you got it, baby.
What you got, yeah.
And that's just the self-realization thing I say that I like to help people wake up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, I don't want to call it
You don't want to
dreams.
step on their dreams, but you want to give them a reality check and say, listen, we going to have to do it a certain way. You know what I'm saying? If you really want that, well, this is what we really going to have to do.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Most people don't plan to fail. They fail to plan.
Facts.
See? And so I'm here to help you with a plan, baby.
Yeah. Put a plan together.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Let's go with it.
Okay, so on to a lot of questions, man.
Yeah.
It was a good one. I love this, man. You know what I'm saying? We love to have people like you on, man, and give you your flowers and show you your love because you deserve it. You giving back to the future. You know what I'm saying? And you mentoring them and making sure that they, when they leave your, you know what I'm saying, your site, that they doing things the right way, or at least pushing themselves to do things the right way. You know what I'm saying? So we appreciate you, man. I appreciate you.
Yeah. It's the each one teach one, baby.
Absolutely. Okay, so what's the album you could listen to with no skips?
Ooh.
Let me see what your music archive
with no skips?
With no skips. You taking that to the island with you, and that's the album you rocking out with.
Oh, no skips. Ghostface Supreme Clientele.
Ooh, okay. Ghostface. So you a Wu-Tang guy?
I'm a Wu head, baby. I done met a few of them brothers, man. And I like the vibe, man.
Yeah.
So I'm a guy that used to hang in New York, so
okay.
Man, I partied at the Tunnel, all that.
Really?
Yeah, baby.
What you doing up in the tunnel?
I'm out here doing things in the tunnel.
I see.
I'm talking that, man. I was, man.
This is 90s or early 2000s?
90s,
Yeah.
like the 90s, I think, man. Whew.
The tunnel.
Woo.
That mean you tough, man.
Woo.
Listen, they say
good
that's one of the toughest clubs in New York, man.
That was my favorite place. I went to New York. I was 19, I think, 21, 21, 19. I was 21, 22. When I try to tell you, man, I went to New York every weekend, had a, out there, there goes. And so I was in Crown Heights most of the time, Brooklyn. But, man, I was just the crash. I went to the Tunnel. It's on Sundays.
Yeah.
So I had to stay in NYC and wake up and drive to work early. Be tired. Tell my boss I'll be there at noon. All right. I leave the Tunnel like 2, 3 in the morning. Swoop. Drive all the way back to Boston, man.
Yeah, that's lit. That's lit.
So the Wu. Yeah, I'm a Wu head, baby.
So if you like Ghostface, you love Raekwon as well, because they kind of like
Chef.
That's my favorite one out of the Wu.
God.
But if I love Raekwon, that means I love Ghostface too. You know what I'm saying? Ghostface
both hands clusty. Pull out the burner, kind of dusty.
Listen.
Come on, Ghost.
Listen, man. But my favorite of all time, if I was to bring an album, it would probably be Life After Death or either one of 2 Biggie's albums. You
can't go wrong with that.
Yeah, I'm a big Biggie guy.
You can't go wrong with Biggie.
Yeah,
man.
at all.
You can't go wrong with Biggie. The Wu's my thing, though. Yeah.
Okay.
The Wu.
What's your Bunker Hill dream team?
Ooh, WAP. Oh, that's hard, man.
Point guard, shooting guard, small forward, power forward, center. One spot.
Well, the center is Frieden's Denny's.
Okay, Frieden's got that on lock.
Ain't no way, my boy, man. Boy, pro ball player. Let me see.
So he at the center.
Yeah, he's the
Who
big
at the
man.
power forward?
Power forward.
Is it D Stu?
Yeah, it's D Stu, man. You know it's
I know it. He a monster.
It's Stewie
He
Huey.
a monster, man.
It's Stewie Huey.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ain't no question about that. There's no question about it. At the 3, man, dog. At the 3,
Who you got?
Mike Campbell.
Okay.
Mike Campbell. Call him Greedy Grady.
Where's he out of?
Southeastern Regional, but
Okay.
but Mike's he's from around here. I think that was some old Metco thing. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, stash your brother type of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. But Mike Campbell
At the 3.
Mike Campbell he's from Avon, I think. Where's Mike from?
Oh, okay. Okay. Brockton area.
Man, Mike Cole, baby.
Yeah.
Eyes closed, Cole. Yeah.
And who's at the 2?
At the 2. I'm not adding this year's teams, guys.
Yeah.
I'm not adding y'all. So Gio, don't
Y'all gotta
stop
put
me.
in a little more work.
Not Gio. I just let him. I'll be back again.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that later. So
Okay.
I'm not putting you right at the 2. Jamari Coakley.
Okay. Where's he out of?
Milton.
Okay.
Milton High, but man, first team.
I don't like Milton, man. They ruined my. Listen, Milton and me, man. Listen, they took me out of the state
He's out
championship
of Milton,
twice.
but he's a North Cambridge boy though, so that's me.
Okay.
That's my man. I got to give it to him. You know, my first 1,000-point scorer. I told you all his accolades, man. That boy, he got busy. At the PG.
Who's at the PG?
Oh my!
I'm not gonna say who I think it is, but I feel like I already know. I feel like I already know.
Oh my God, man! Oh,
I feel like I already know who it is.
Oh my God!
But I'm gonna let you.
I know you think it's EJ, don't you?
You know. Listen, I definitely
the
think
bus
it's.
driver. I think.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
But let me explain to you, dog. You know who Angel Price Espada is?
I think I heard of Angel. He played with you last year, right?
Couple years back.
He played with Trey.
Yeah.
Yep. He's a monster.
Man. Oh shoot.
So that's who you taking him on?
Man, dog.
Angel is between Angel and EJ?
Yeah, man. Oh my God. Man, I don't know, dog.
That's tough.
I don't know.
You gonna put him 1A, 1B?
Yeah, dog, because
They both got busy.
ain't no one ever ran a team like the bus driver, man.
Yeah, listen.
That's the thing about EJ.
Yeah.
But EJ, I love you, E. You know you was a complete 100% migraine.
Point guard.
You know you was a migraine headache, dog. So
Oh, yeah. Nah, EJ, yeah.
for the coaching.
Yeah.
He was a migraine.
Cause he's demanding.
He's a migraine. I used to have to put ice on the back of my neck to cool my
But he the PG, so he kind of your leader out there.
Oh,
So
I love him.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know, Angel's incredible.
Yeah.
5'7" windmills and
What you mean, 5'7" and Duncan?
windmills, man.
What?
It's all on film.
Where he at right now?
He was at Westfield State, man. He went there on the behest of his uncle or whatever, but man, dog.
But you putting them two, 1A, 1B.
I can't pick.
You can't. You gonna put it? We're gonna leave it at 1A,
Yeah,
1B.
we gotta leave that.
Okay.
That on 1A, 1B.
Okay, before I go to my last question though, 2016 or 2019? 2016 or 2019? Who you go with?
I'm going with 2019 because I know they're gonna listen.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the difference.
Yeah.
They're gonna listen.
Yeah.
You know, 2016 would thugged out any team in the country.
Yeah.
But in the end, them brothers was hard headed.
Yeah.
And they didn't listen to instruction because we was the best team in the country and they didn't listen.
Yeah.
And that was all of them. Only one that listened was Freedens. EJ and Stu, them knuckleheads wasn't listening.
It wasn't trying to hear it sometimes.
Nah, and they would just fool around during the game and be like, yo, coach, throwing alley-oops from half court. And I'm like, yo, dog, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Come with the, don't worry about it.
We're going to turn it up in a minute.
And they would turn it up and be up by 30.
Yeah.
While I'm yelling and screaming.
For
2019, I said, hey, go ahead.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead on and get it. I'm going 2019.
2019.
Yeah, I'm going 2019.
Because you're going to win and sleep good at night.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm going to have fun. I used to have to hold back. Like, I wanted to hold the meal money back on the 2016th. Like, I don't want to feed y'all right now.
No, man. For real.
But 2019, I was giving them my money. Yeah, take it all. Let's have a good time.
Where we go, Applebee? What's up?
Eat what you want, man.
Okay. So who's your pick to win the NBA Finals?
Los Angeles Lakers.
I like that.
I'm not switching, man.
Okay, I like that. Hey, they got a good chance.
Los Angeles
They
Lakers,
got a good chance. You know what I'm saying?
Lakers,
they got a good chance. But if it was me, my realistic pick. Let me go with my realistic pick. I want to see OKC win it. I like Shea Alexander. I like what they got over there, how they built it up. And they never folded. They actually came up on some picks, and they built their team inside out. And
I like their team. I like their team a lot.
They play together, like even though that Shea's scoring 30.
They know who the alpha dog is on that team, and when he's always gonna be able to get it.
Facts.
But then you got guys that when he needs to take his break because he didn't shot
Jalen Williams.
Yeah, man. Jalen Williams gets busy, and I like the defensive piece with the dude Holmgren.
Yep.
And all them. I like OKC.
OKC.
I like OKC.
They got some pieces.
But man, purple and gold, baby.
Purple and gold.
No go against the grain, baby.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You've been a Laker fan since Showtime.
I've been a Lakers fan since Norm Nixon was the point guard.
So before Magic got there.
He was my first favorite player was Norm Nixon.
Yeah.
And that's before Magic got there. And then Magic came and got him traded.
Yep.
But, they got my boy Kareem, and that is it for me.
Yeah.
And then of course, Bean and Shaq. Come on,
man. Greatest players.
I
know you love that era.
Oh my God, man, I had a good time.
Absolutely.
I was out there watching TNT like it was everything.
Yeah.
It was everything.
Because they was a prime team before that. You know what I'm saying? You could watch any team now, but used to be the prime teams on TV. So
man, I came with an offense that I called 345 triangle just because it would look like something that the Lakers was running with Phil Jackson. I did my own version.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And it was efficient, but I bit some of their styles and their workout ways,
Yeah.
I had some friends that knew some people, so they clued me into a few things.
Yeah,
I was like, yeah.
Showed you some tricks.
How does that work? They showed me. I said, don't nobody know that. Let me see.
Let me see that.
Let me see.
And we running that.
We running that.
And it's been successful.
We've been very successful.
Okay, so who'd you pick for March Madness? We here.
I'm going family lines. I'm going Alabama.
Okay.
My cousin Kyra Lewis Jr., shout out, played at Alabama about 3-4 years ago. Was an NBA. He played for, I think he's in the G League now, but he's a lottery pick for the Pelicans.
Okay.
So
what was his name?
Kyra Lewis Jr.
Okay. And he played out of Mass?
No, he played out of we're out of Huntsville, Alabama. That's where most of my family's from.
Oh, from Alabama?
Yeah, Alabama. So
okay.
I'm rolling tide right now with Alabama.
Yeah, my mom's side of the family is from Alabama.
Yeah, dog. Yeah. So I'm gonna go with Alabama to slide that title.
Okay, yeah.
Slide that title.
Rolling tide.
Yeah, roll tide. I'm gonna let them slide that. That's just so I can, you know what I mean, talk goodness with my family.
Facts.
That's all.
Gotta pick the hometown.
Yeah, that's all.
You know what I'm saying? Okay. All. Well, Coach Jones, man, I appreciate you for coming up here on T3MU TV.
Hey,
man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you a legend in the city or in Mass. Don't let nobody tell you different, man. Yeah. Keep inspiring these kids, man. Keep doing your ones and twos, because the generation is getting crazier and crazier, and you know what I'm saying? We need solid guys like you to keep their head on straight. You know what I'm saying? Keep them from doing the wrong thing or jumping into the wrong thing or ruining their life. You know what I mean? So,
man, bro, I respect you, and I'm glad you had me on this show because
absolutely,
it's always gonna be a keep it real moment with me. That's the way I like to do it. And I love your steez, man. I've seen a few of your podcasts, and it's just all in my lane, brother. So whenever you can have me back,
Absolutely.
I'll come back, man.
We hoping we get you back with the national title, retirement, whenever you know what I'm saying?
Man,
listen.
they put that championship, yeet. It's coming right with me, baby.
Listen.
Coming with me, baby.
Listen.
You know what
we
I mean?
need to see that. I'm ready for that. You know what I'm saying? I'm pushing for you and hoping that you have a great season next season and y'all actually do bring it home. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, we gonna get right.
Absolutely.
I appreciate
already,
it.
man.
Hey, once again, shout out to everybody that love me, and I love you too. That's it. That's real, baby.
Yes, man. And that's a wrap for episode 59 with Coach Jones. A Bunker Hill, man. If you a youngin' out there, you know what I'm saying, you a senior, you in Mass, New York, Philly, East Coast, listen.
That's right.
Come down, come see my guy, man. Let him get you right. You know what I'm saying? Y'all set out that plan and y'all execute it. Yep. And hopefully you get a national title out of it. You know what I'm saying?
Bulldog Nation led
Bulldog
by me.
Nation. Talk that talk.
Yeah, it is.
You know what I'm saying?
It's love.
You already, man. But that's a wrap for episode 59. I'll see y'all next episode. Peace.
Yep. My man.
Appreciate